Guys, this is usually a topic I don't want to touch. I want to stay clear from, and I think a lot of you probably feel the same way as me because people just get crazy about political talks these days. And this is all coming from the top of my head. I'm not following any kind of script. I've been around so many people lately that I just had to talk about this. And don't worry, I'm not just going to bash one side and praise the other. In fact, I'm going to bash both sides because America is a two political party system. And I think now more than I can ever remember, and maybe I'm just getting wiser as I'm getting older, people just aren't making much sense to me. And let me give you an analogy, because I like to use analogies from time to time. Hopefully they make sense, because in my mind they do. But let's say I like the NFL and I like a particular team on the NFL. My personal favorite team are the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love them when they do well. I unfortunately love them when they don't do so well. And just because I love the team and I cheer for the team and I align myself with that team doesn't mean that I can't critique that team. If the coaching is poor for a season or the quarterback makes a really bad call during the final 2 minutes of a game and they lose the game, I'm going to critique that. And I'm not going to, put blinders on and say, oh no, the team's perfect, they do nothing wrong, and come up with this, that, and the other reasons as to why they lost, other than the obvious. I think a lot of people relate, right? We all probably like some kind of team or some kind of, maybe it's a TV show and they just have one bad episode and you're like, what the heck was that? But the rest of the series is pretty good. The analogy could go on, except when it comes to politics. I notice when people really get entrenched with their political party of choice, they see no wrong with that party, no matter what. And once again, I'm not talking about just one side, I'm talking about both sides of the aisle. And just to prove a point, Joe Biden, he had some obvious red flags. He was kind of losing it. I think we can all agree on that. Like, he was unaware of where he was, especially at the end of his term. And yet people on the left were like, nah, there's nothing going on here. Other people probably aren't calling the shots. It's definitely him. He's totally stable and he definitely knows what's going on and what he's choosing to do. And then you could say the same thing on the right now with Donald Trump. It's like, Donald Trump definitely could have some red flags exposed, whether it's his mannerisms, some things that he chooses to do and not really think about. And yet people on the right are like, he's the best president of all time and, he does nothing wrong. And you could see the obvious kind of delusion on both sides where, my political party that I choose to belong to and vote for continuously does nothing wrong while the other political party is the worst thing known to man. I just entirely think that's unhealthy because no matter what side you're on, I think you should still critique it. And I say this with everything in life, you should question things. We are humans. We should not just believe everything at face value and pretend that nothing else could possibly be happening in the background. And I just see so many people do just that. They don't question anything. They stick with their few media outlets that they listen to and the few friends that they listen to and disregard everything else that they hear and see. Whether or not it's pretty factual, at least there's a lot of evidence for that, because they can't possibly be right in this instance. I'm not saying that you have to be against your political party. You can be for your political party, but I think that just blindly following everything they do without question and without any thought that, some of the aspects of what they do are potential issues is just mind-blowing to me. It is, because my personal political philosophy these days are both sides, in the end, screw you in one way or the other. In politics, my eyes are finally open. The only people that win in politics aren't the people. It's not me and you. It's the politicians. There's a reason politicians get insanely wealthy. They do absolutely nothing throughout their whole term, for the most part. I think we can all agree on that. Like, very little changes occur. And quite honestly, over the last 10 years, I can't say that a politician has made my life better. Like, perhaps they might have passed something here and there, like they raised the contribution limit of a Roth IRA. That's great. But as a whole, like making things more affordable, whether it's groceries or housing or childcare or anything that, the average American truly needs, I can't think of how politicians on either side of the aisle have really helped us regular people. I don't know, it just makes things tough because when you talk about politics and you have the mindset that I do, that like both sides really can do some crappy things, it's really hard to have a civil conversation with many people because there aren't, at least in my experience, many people that I can sit down with and just have a calm talk about politics and everything will be okay. I don't know, maybe I'll expand on this in the future. I just wanted a quick little video while I play some video game terribly talking about politics. And if you feel the same way about the current political climate in America and the media and how people feel and how people act and how kind of everyone's putting on these blinders, let me know in the comments. Maybe it's just me. I hope it's not. I hope I'm not the delusional one, but maybe I am. Let me know. I really appreciate you watching this, and I hope to see you in a future video.